experience changed along the way, and that's natural with different awakenings. It's like you open up to these new dimensions, and you change, and like it creates change in you, the way that you relate to the world and to others and to oneself, to what's taking place inside and to circumstances, all changes. And that's how we know that there really is something happening here. There's a progression happening, because we need to have that validation that we are, in fact, changing. We're transforming. It's not just a nice belief system that the spiritual awakening, exists, and that people actually, in truth, they do change. And so that did happen. So before the awakenings, I would say that I had a sense, a really deep sense that I was missing something. And I was longing for myself. So I was already a seeker pretty young, in my early teens. And it really blossomed in my early 20s into like a real direction, of like yoga and meditation, so that I was able to actually close the gap between what I was seeking for and this person who was seeking started to like close. I started to get tastes of what I was seeking for. It was right here. And so before the first real deep understandings took place, I would say that I believed myself to be a person who was longing and seeking. Like that was my identity, and I also was a person who loved my family and who had some angst, here and there, right? Kind of wondering what I should do with my life. That's normal in your early 20s and so on. We go to college, or we just do some trade, or we do something to figure out what we're meant to do here in terms of work. And I was a little bit lost with that, because really the seeking and the desire to want to come home was so strong that I couldn't really like imagine being something in the world. I wasn't very good at that. And, some people may say that that was actually a weakness, but I don't know. I applied all that energy to remembering myself. So I would say before the awakenings, I was a bit lost, with kind of in this in-between realm, like sort of like in a dream state, like in between realm of not being able to be lost in the world and forgetting and be like successful, finding myself in the world. I couldn't do that. And not having really established and found what it was I was looking for. So I would say that was kind of like the landscape that I was living in prior to the deeper understandings and realizations that came along the way. And so the closer I came to feeling myself, and the more I did, the more I could touch into my being, because you can touch into your being without it being a permanent thing. You can touch into it with meditation, with grace, with these precious moments during the day. And I would have those tastes, but I wouldn't say they were abiding. So then I would feel I would have it and then lose it, have it and lose it. And so that was kind of like my life for a while. It wasn't terrible. It was more like I knew what I wanted. It helped create what I knew I wanted. And so when the awakenings took place and were like abiding and stayed, like the transference in the dimension of like, I am this that I've been looking for. And it wouldn't go away again. It was just, that's what they call abiding, when it doesn't go away. then it was just, of course, peacefulness. And, you feel in sync with yourself. And it's such a relief, right? It's such a relief that separation dance with when it's over, it's a big change. It's a change. And when it's permanent, it's a new way of operating. And then the embodiment process takes place of having that understanding that I am this, and it's unshakable. And everything that doesn't know that yet gets to wake up to that and come to terms with that and in sync with it. So, and of course, there are so many different types of awakenings, and the heart opens up and realizes it's one with everything, and feels the beauty and the intimacy of everything in existence is made of this. Not that I am that, because one wakes up to that. So what you wake up to, you realize everything is that. Everything is that. The lamp, the wall, everything that's made of nature and everything that's man-made, everything is that as well. And we share that. It's a one thing. And when that is known and fully understood, you change. You can't create separation in the same way, even though there's something that knows that it isn't the microphone here. It's intelligent in that way. So yeah, different awakenings have definitely created huge transformations over time. And the very last awakening that took place was dropping away of the self-reflective mechanism and of mind, and not only the ability to look at itself, but the automatic reflexive mechanism of mind that's automatic. It suddenly stopped, like a spring sprung loose that you don't even know is in operation, because it's so automatic. It's just placed in every human being. And that still was in operation during unity. There was something that knew it was in unity. There was something that knew, even though it was so thin, it was so naturalized at the end. And it was a long period, 9 years of unity. So it was very naturalized and very, there was no more sense, oh, I'm in unity. That was long gone, But still, something was still there, I guess. And that sprung loose. I didn't even know that was coming. And that changed things again. So we have these different openings, I didn't even talk about the mind waking up to itself. Before the heart bloomed, there was mind realizing that it is that, and that is vast space, it contains everything, and everything rises and falls in that. So, but this last awakening was a realization. Some people call it no self. I don't know. It's really, really hard to talk about. And I think that most people don't, because there's not much to say. I think you just become pure functioning without anything that is no more veils, even of imagining that everything is one and that it is one. No more veils exist. Nothing more between this and this. And there's no more even this and this. It's just this. Just this. And it kind of felt like that in unity, but this was another level of freedom that was so different, just very different. So I see the intelligence of this whole journey, this intelligence of developing a sense of self growing up, the intelligence of knowing that something was missing through that, that there was something, feeling a disconnection to wholeness, and then going on that search, and the seeker, the very intelligent, the seeker, and then realizing that there's something empty, and that I'm that, and then realizing that one is one with the totality, and then beyond. And I think that's just like the evolution, like the potentialness of our human evolution spiritually, the spiritual evolution of humanity that lives in everybody as a seed, as a potential, and yeah. And then you get to just, I guess, live this life out. And if you want to, you can talk about it. If you don't, it doesn't. If you don't, then that's fine too. It's not, there's no right way to live. I think you just become a force of nature, one with the natural world. But having gone through this journey, which you actually, in a way, a lot of it you don't forget, so you can still talk about it. Kind of fascinating.